Welcome back, Level Uppers. It's Larry, and this is episode 3 of LevelUpLarry's Going Green. It's hard to believe that at the time of recording this video, we are only a week away from the launch of Project 1999's Green server. But whether you're watching this before launch or a year into it, there are probably a few standard rules you can still follow to help you along your way as you adventure in the world of classic EverQuest. While it's a resource that has helped me quite a bit in conducting my research for this series, the Project 1999 wiki is something that every player or potential player should utilize. There is a trove of information within it, and you would be surprised to see how many hidden gems you can find. Whether that be an obscure quest out in the middle of Lake Wrath, or revealing a level range of a low-level area normally not thought of previously. The resources that we have today far exceeds anything that we had back in 1999, and the wiki is immensely more refined than it was 10 years ago. There should be no doubt in your mind that Green Server will bring a spike in population, and taking some time to prepare yourself and structure a plan may help alleviate some of the madness that ensues. In an attempt to help some of you start to build that plan, I have 3 topics that I'd like to cover with you during this episode. The first topic: embrace unorthodox leveling paths. If you're going to be around during launch day or anywhere close to that, it would be safe to expect nothing less than chaos. With an estimated 3,000 plus players across all starting zones, beelining to whatever mob they can get themselves, ideally one with the correct staff, the shortage of overall experience content will be stretched very thin. There have been rumors around a potential increased respawn timer in starting areas that will impact non-essential mobs or quest mobs that may help feed mobs to the initial rush, but no final word on this quite yet. Most of the short-term effects of overcrowding will resolve itself over time as players level out of the starting areas, but this changes nothing with the general nature of popular camps and zones. Once players start to get a few levels, the opportunities to branch out start to present themselves. And having the mentality to be flexible and extra adventurous could pay dividends in the long run, not only from an experience generation perspective, but it could also be the makings of a truly rewarding classic journey. So, when was the last time you set up an experience camp in zones like Lava Storm, or Dagner's Cauldron, or Care Isle? Zones that have normally been just run-through zones, or simply ignored and forgotten, now stand to gain new life and exploration as players will need to get creative with experience camps. The next topic: rethink low-level gear. Do you remember a time when the Lockjaw Hide Vest was one of the most highly sought-out monk items? Or the +3 intelligence Shearbone Mask being the best in-slot item for intelligence casters? Items that have been long forgotten for their classic value will be highly sought-out pieces of equipment on Green Server. There are plenty of low-level quests available that reward equipment upon completion. And drawing attention back to the P99 wiki, there will be many items that will be quite useful while leveling up, but not necessarily best in slot. And those are the ones that you may want to pay attention to. And don't forget, armor sets are absolutely a thing. Whether that's player-crafted banded, damask, gossamer, mesh, netted, there are several different armor sets that will help fill in slots where you may need some extra AC. And the last topic is the green economy. To many, establishing a legacy of wealth will be top priority, and one of the surefire ways to reliably achieve this will be to play the economy, whether that's farming bone chips to sell on day one, or rushing to get trade skilling up to start peddling high-demand wares to other players. Speaking of high-demand wares, here are a few crafted pieces of gear that will really spark the interest of leveling adventurers. At the outset, alchemy is relatively expensive to level up. However, Spirit of Wolf potions become trivial at skill level 37, and will absolutely be a very popular item amongst non-Spirit of Wolf casting classes. For baking, I'm not 100% certain if food will be fixed on Green Server, but if so, hearty crafted meals will prove to be valuable over the long run. For blacksmithing, banded armor will definitely be in very high demand and potentially one of the quicker ways to establish some steady income early in the game. Brewing, generally speaking, is more of a novelty trade skill in Classic, but some of the items are used for cultural trade skills. Fletching will be a great personal investment for tanks, mainly Warrior, and of course Ranger. But crafted bows should have some heightened value during Classic. Jewel crafting will be incredibly lucrative for the foreseeable future throughout Green's lifespan. Certain plus stat jewelry will be best in slot in many instances, such as the Platinum Ruby Veil. But there are a slew of lower level pieces of jewelry that will aid adventurers along in their journey that will sell for some nice coin as well. Poison making will specifically impact rogues, but can also be used for making fine plate dyes. However, the latter very unlikely to generate any meaningful income. Pottery, in a classic EQ sense, serves more as a supplementary trade skill than one that will generate much income. Pottery does come into form later down the road in Velius with the introduction of deity idols, but that's beside the point. Tailoring will be another highly sought out trade skill, with its most popular item being a handmade backpack, a 10-slot container with 10% weight reduction. And for any monks out there, Cured Silk and Wu's fighting sets will be very popular. For gnomes, tinkering will be a great long-term situational income generator, whether that's in the form of a collapsible fishing pole, stalking probes, or rebreathers. While some of the content in this material may not have been earth-shattering in its insight, hopefully it gets you thinking about how you plan on playing Green Server. In conclusion, everyone will play Green Server the way they want to play it, whether that's rushing through content to try to secure loot, or trying to take it slow to re-experience classic EverQuest in a more intimate way. Ultimately, neither way is right or wrong. The piece of advice I would offer is that no matter how you decide to play Green Server, be sure to pause and appreciate the fact that we even get this opportunity to experience it. And that's all thanks to the Project 1999 team. The way Green Server is intended to function, the server will reset once progression through all patches up to Velius is complete. So it's believable that this won't be the last time to experience classic EverQuest, but that's 3.5 years down the road and present day prevails. I've had an absolute blast making this series, and I've learned so much in just the 3 episodes that I've done. The support and feedback I've gotten has also been incredible, and to celebrate hitting 100 subscribers, I will be doing a bonus episode that will cover classic low-level dungeons. Be on the lookout for that over the next week. If you weren't already aware, I will be doing a launch day/weekend stream over on Twitch, starting early afternoon Central Time. Also, if you haven't joined the Level Up community on Discord, there are several of us coordinating and collaborating in anticipation of launch day, so feel free to join. I look forward to seeing each of you in game soon. Level Up hype!